The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host who loves to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on today? Well, just looked at the volume, and of course, pretty big. We're already in the 9 billion shares when, I would say, how many days did we have? 4.5 billion shares in the CBOE consolidated tape at this time. The S&Ps have been all over the place, but it looks like pretty good resistance around what we saw yesterday, which is at 28.25, 28.40-ish on the cash. We're up 14 points at the moment, 82 on the Dow, up 63 on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ still show the Russell down, though, here. Crude up a little bit. As I continue to think of my call that there's a bigger issue with Saudi Arabia and Russia, there was only one word last night, and it was, I'm going to say two sentences in the news, and that is the president of these United States did talk last night to the head of the Saudi government, the Saudi prince who actually runs the shoe over there, but not a peep, no tweets, not a thing going on between those two. So it's hard to tell, but certainly we've got a president that's not shy about voicing his opinions. So there is probably something bigger going on in the background than we are yet to find out. Now, tomorrow we get the Delta neutral day in options. I'm suspecting that if we're going to make some kind of low here between now and the expiration, that we're probably looking at something tomorrow. So kind of a retest of Monday yet again tomorrow, maybe declining volume. But I didn't see any reason to jump in today on the bounce. But these pullbacks on what are going to be lighter energy are exactly what we're looking for to hammer out a bottom. None confirmed at this point. But we could see something in the next 24 hours, at least something we can build off of, but we shall see. And trying to see if there's anything else really that we're talking about. The dollar's up $1.30 today. We're back in this 96 to 98 area that the Treasury has been trying to keep us in for the last year or so. And when we looked at some of the other things going on, what I wanted to do is pull up gold down 17, almost $18 right now at 1657.80. Probably not a big surprise on the bounce today. And of course, a little bit of pop in crude, certainly on a percentage basis, 8% is a whole lot, but 33.61. Pretty much on the down low for prices that we've had for a while, especially here in the West, where the average cost of production is somewhere in the low 40s currently. It doesn't seem like there's going to be much. So is the thought that with everything going on, that the Saudis are going to help out the world economy by slashing prices? Or is it maybe even multiple reasons to get back at the Russians for launching missiles from Iran and using it as a proxy, and Syria, by the way, and Yemen, and just stirring the pot, maybe give them a little taste of what it's like not to get much for your oil. Saudis can hold out, I think, a lot better than the Russians, but a lot of people disagree with me. But I don't know. We shall find out. Anyway, let's do a little history, and then we'll move on to some charts.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
And it wasn't on this day in 1976. It was 1876. I don't know why. Probably forgot to actually change that. Why don't we just change it right now? There we go. 1876, Alexander Graham Bell makes a fateful call to his assistant, Mr. Watson, which is considered the first phone call in history. Mr. Watson, come here. I want you. And, of course, Alexander Graham Bell didn't want people to say hello when they answered the phone. He wanted them to say ahoy, like we were on some kind of big ship. Also, he wasn't really the only person working on a phone. Within 2 hours of him filing his patent, somebody else came in and filed a patent almost identical to his. And, of course, you don't remember his name at all. But he was able to make a lot of bread. I don't think they call it bread back then. Wampum, probably in the 1800s. Bucks. Greenbacks, a lot of other things. Anyway, on this day in 1876, I would say the first electronics, really home electronic product, do you have to say? Maybe phonograph player. Yeah, it's kind of all at the same time. But I think the phonograph really didn't get going until 1890s or a little bit later. But certainly, that's it. So let's get to some charts and take a look at it. Woke up to see the futures a lot higher and didn't really see a lot of reasons why other than probably it just being oversold. Let me get this back up. Close. No. There we go. So we'll get to Microsoft here. MSFT. Okay. Yeah, kind of what we were looking at. You've got some kind of low probably developing in Microsoft around this 150 level. You did bounce today. You've given half of it back. Volume, if this is 215, you've got 36 million shares. You're probably going to come in lighter for the bounce. You probably are looking for the consolidation from the 150 area to about 155. So we're kind of back into that right now at 154.75. So that's one of the leaders. Apple, if he can actually type, Apple. Continue to keep an eye on this. The question is whether it can stay above 275, which is kind of the middle part of this range, and two different gaps that we have. But so far, yesterday he had 72 million shares, up today with about 47 million shares. So you may be a little bit better off on this. 107 million shares on the 28th for Apple. Yesterday you had 72. So you did get into that candle, lighter volume, but I think you're still going to need a little bit more consolidation. We'll be back in a...
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And as we come back, we're looking for to answer a question on whether or not this is a kind of a tri-top in the TLT. Certainly, you went higher and didn't have the volume you had the previous day. On the 6th, we had 76 million shares. Yesterday, 41 million shares. And, of course, that opened at the high and closed pretty close to the low. Today, we gapped down just a little. The confirmation of a top, though, would probably take a little bit more, and that is a close below 160. But we shall see if we get that. But one of the reasons why I don't think that there's a lot of reasons to be making long-range forecasts, i.e. more than 15 minutes, until tomorrow with us going delta neutral on options. But we shall see. So what else is happening? Well, we want to look at some of the other ones. Amazon had a good bounce. Gave back about half of it so far. You are back into the trading range, though, today, albeit on lighter volume. The 28th on Amazon, you went down to 1,811 on 9.5 million shares. You didn't have that big of a drop in volume yesterday. You still got just under 8, which is good. And you get your pop out here, but that probably suggests some level of consolidation around these mid, what do we call it, about 1825-ish levels on Amazon for a while, maybe a handful of days before we get going further. It just seems to me like if there's a company, if they can continue getting the products, is there a company better off for not having to go around any other people and hiding out at home? Yeah, I don't think so. Question about IBM. Not exactly sure what the question is, but I have to sneeze. And I'm back. Well, as I said, was never one big on IBM. even though they had some pretty good news when the earnings came out for the first time with Red Hat and kept their revenues up. They are back to this level of, let's see, January 23rd. That had 22 million shares. It actually didn't do too bad. Yesterday, a little under 11 million shares. Today, about 6.4 million shares. So, yeah, if you're a big fan of IBM, that's it. But really what you're buying in IBM is a promise of the future of quantum computing. What is Honeywell? Trying to remember. HON, isn't it? I think it is. The problem I see right now with IBM is you basically have a fairly big bet. Honeywell released some papers and a talk about what's going forward with them and their effort to build what they say is the first usable quantum computer in production. Very tight-lipped, but they let a couple of things leak from Honeywell, and they're a big, of course, industrial company. Apparently, they've got 150 people working on the development of a quantum computer themselves. So they've, kind of been on the low end of making thermometers, other things for installations. To take the big hop to quantum computers seems interesting. A little maybe off their playbook, but certainly the papers that they released over the last few weeks, very interesting in the quantum computing field. Now, the big reveal for them is in about 2 months. They said, maybe 2.5 months. So I'd keep an eye on Honeywell. They may be getting out of the low-margin, high-volume business products for building new buildings and all that kind of stuff. But you've got a fairly decent low out here. I like the volume. February 28th, you had 9.6 million shares. You had a little under 6 million shares yesterday. You went below that low. You closed back above it. You got a little bounce above it. I'm not going to say that this thing's ready to go. But you know what? In a month or two, as they get closer to their announcement, it'd be very interesting, even if you were just to be long for the pop in that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I read the papers, and if you believe it, they pulled a rabbit out of a hat. So anyway, a very non-traditional company in that area. Other stocks we're going to look at, question about Micron. And it did get back into this gap higher that goes back to the 4th of January in 2019. That gapped up with about 17 million shares. You got into it with 31 million shares yesterday. And, of course, you bounced today and then gave it all back up. But at best, this is going to have to consolidate away at that $45 level for a while. But kind of tougher to say. Okay. Question about the SMHs for Ron. And you know what? You're so close to this 118 high from July 24th and the associated support for it. I mean, you came down with 7 million shares yesterday. You're up with 4 million shares today. I could see, ideally what we're going to get is some kind of push down tomorrow and it just everything run out of gas and we hit somewhere around that 119 level from the July 24th, 2019 high in the SMHs, because that looks like that's going to be fairly decent support. If you just bounce from here, it wouldn't be as nice as if they pulled back just a little. Is another question coming through the internet, which I hear is a thing, but I always said it was just a fad. The Mr. Internet asks, is Tesla broke? finally. And unfortunately not. It's actually, if you look at the chart, not bad. You gapped up and away with 47 million shares back on the 3rd of February. You got into it with 24 million shares back on February 28th, 17 million shares yesterday. There's some level of support, although I continue to think this is a $40 company. One day we're going to see this thing, the bathroom plug pulled, and maybe just low gas prices for a while will help start that. But the chart does not agree with me. It actually says that there's some level of support right above the $600 level. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Lost in Space.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. I was trying to look up the lockup date on Virgin Galactic, see if there was anything here. Number share, transaction date 12/9. Do they have anything else coming to market? I don't see any, but that would be interesting. You've got a fairly nice low in Virgin Galactic, and the question here is to parabolic move down in SPICE, target price. Well, I think you got some fairly decent support at this area. And again, I think that there's a lot of shares that are still locked up. So this one may actually be making some kind of low. Any close back above 1911 would say that this back in the trading range. But this is kind of what you want to see in a nice consolidation, and that is this volume declining the more that they go out here to the right-hand side of the chart. So I don't see anything really bearish in this other than overall market conditions. Does it need to go back down to $10? No. Could you get a test of this 1561, the January 27th low? I think that's kind of right now, unless we see more volume on the downside, that's kind of the worst of all things. But, I mean, you basically broke that 48 million share low with 13 million shares. So you've got some support in this area, but ideally would be a test of the 1561. Okay. Somebody making comments about the internet is a fad. And I keep telling Al Gore that, but he doesn't listen. Man, bear, pig. Okay. And well, we're up 45 points. You just kind of turn around and take a look. Question about what is this? We looked at Tesla, looked at okay. Take a quick look at Boeing. There's a gap that we're very close to. In Boeing, you got to 215 today. That gap that looks like it's going to get tested is this one from July 26, 2017. The low of the day that day was 211.40, and the day before the high was 202. So it's that gap right in there. So you're looking at 205 to 207. And you know what? If I know my Mr. Buffett, that's where the guy is going to probably start in buying around that level. But we have to see. He hasn't. We haven't really seen a lot of signs of him buying the problematic. But my guess is that he would. This would be one stock that he would probably eventually one day be buying. Is there anything left for Gush? Well, as far as you can say, 72 cents. I don't know. I'd have to dig back into this one. It's very hard for me to see that there's anything left in this, but you'd have to go through the prospectus. It is an ETF, so theoretically it has to have some value, but I don't know what the escape plan is for that. You'd have to read the prospectus on how they actually handle that. They may just make it $40 again tomorrow, but generally they announce that stuff. I don't see anything on the list, although there may be some stuff. I haven't looked that hard. Okay, we looked at that. A question about SIL. Sneezes today. Well, all I got to do is go out in public and sneeze a few times, get rid of everybody out of the place, go right to the front of the line. 2-in-1 show. An extra sneeze. Global silver miners in the SIL, February 28th, $26.25, 1.2 million shares. You had 558,000 shares yesterday. You got 435,000. You'd like the volume to be less today, but with an hour left, you're probably going to get a little bit more. Ideally, you get a piercing of this 26.25 tomorrow, and it closes back above that 26.25 with lighter volume. And that would be the possibility of a buy sign in there, although I think most people are probably looking at gold as the bigger issue. Question about the IBB coming in. Man, the internet has been hot today. Okay, let's take a look at here. So you pierced, the IBB pierced the previous February 28th low, 109.70. That had 8.5 million shares. You got into it yesterday with a little less than 5, which is good. Today you opened up much higher, and you're really need to, we got to 106.80. You need to see 109.70 closed above. But again, that's why I'm waiting for tomorrow. I think we're going to see a lot of signs one way or the other in this one. You may even see a little push down again tomorrow. But it certainly looks like biotech, why it's kind of been slammed down here lately, continues to have a lot of pin-up demand. Generally, the biotech's had a few years run very good. Last couple of years, they've been nothing. But the biggest political issues for the IBB seem to probably be going away tonight in the form of Mr. Bernie. And, of course, Warren already hit the skids. So the two biggest proponents in the presidential race that would have been big negatives to the IBB are kind of gone. And this thing's been in the back seat for several years. So, yeah, looks interesting, but again, need another day or so to make sure nothing else comes out of the wood and we don't see yet another shoe dropping. Wow. I got something. I don't know what it is. And no, it isn't. Before you even bring it up, I will tell you, no, it isn't. Haven't been around any of those people. I'll be back in a minute.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And I want to look at something here. That was Cloudflare. To see, tomorrow is the lockup expiration is over in that. And so it's been out for 6 months. Of course, kind of the sewers and electrical grid system of the internet for this one. But, keep an eye on that tomorrow with the IPO lockup over. But if you just looked at the chart, you're going back to the February 28th low, 1983, 7.3 million shares. You have 2 million shares today. But if you find some people selling in that tomorrow, you could see it back down to $17 fairly quickly. What else do we have going on? I think I've got some more emails. There we have STNG. What do I think of this shipper? Well, I mean, these things have reverse split 100 times, which is kind of the worst signal in the world. But support around $15 and $14 has been here for a while. You have a nice pop today with some volume. And, of course, there's nothing better for a low price than a low price in all the stuff out there for mining and minerals and crude and everything else. So could these turn around? They could. I mean, this is a one-day pop so far today. Again, I continue to think that that the stocks that probably should be doing the best are these, and they don't get any better out here. And what do you see? Well, I don't see anything. So I don't know. You'd have to look at the Baltic Dry Index. Maybe I'll get a chance to do that during the break. Okay. Netflix, just a little bounce on it today on 5 million shares. It was down 7.4 million shares yesterday. Still continues to be one of the stronger versions of tech stocks. What else do we want to look at? AMAT and then AMD. Well, in Applied Materials, you're back to the gap higher on October 24th. That had 18.7 million shares. Got into it with 10 million shares, and you bounced today. Again, I think the market needs a little bit of back and fill, but, around $52. Applied Materials does look interesting. Let's take a look at the SMHs today. I've been hoping to see them about 118, 119. Yesterday we got to 120.48. Got a little pop today, but it doesn't have a lot of volume. That 118.49, which is the July 24th high, also takes you back in to about 115 through this consolidation period from early fall, September and October, before it really started going up to 152.62 and then plummeting back. But again, I would love to see just a little bit of light volume tomorrow and a push down to confirm a little bit of these. Got to put your Earl somewhere, huh? Okay. I remember when there was a lot of those shippers were making a bunch of money, just filling up and just tooling around, holding all that crude out there in ships, waiting for a higher price to drive into the market. Well, we've got a nice pop here. I don't know if there was any news, but we're up 73. We're right back up to where resistance has been twice before in this market. 28.19 is the last tick I show. Dow's up 584, Nasdaq's up 229, Russell back to flat. Crude up 3.5 points. So maybe something's happened that I have not seen. Okay. We looked at Apple, looked at that. We looked at the TLT. Question about PANW, PANW. The Palo Alto network broke through the November 20th low. That was $160.08. That's in 2018. Broke through that a couple of days ago in a couple of breaks. He had more volume. He had 3.3 million shares. Just kind of going sideways out here today. You're going to need a lot of consolidation. This is one that did come down off of earnings and news. That was the first huge gap down. So, yeah, are you going to probably come back up eventually and test 210, maybe 220, maybe even 225 and fill half that gap? You probably are, but it's going to take a bit of consolidation before you move on that. Question about the IYT. Is it making a low? We shall see. Coins need to know. Well, we're right up against resistance now at 84, up 84 on the S&P 500. Okay. Well, you may be doing that. Just way too much volume yesterday and several days before. But 153.17, which is the December 24th low. You got to 144.52 yesterday. You got a little hammer out here today. Up on 417,000. Yeah. 153.17 is what you're looking for. And we got 152. So, you still need a couple more bucks to get back in the trading range. But again, too much volume. So at best, you're going to do some consolidation going on for the rest. See what else we have on my list of stuff. Question about the XLE. Yeah, I don't think you've got anything here. You bounced on light volume today. Again, you're probably going to go sideways for at least a week, I suspect. You'd have to have some kind of agreement between the Ruskies and the Saudis, and not a peep so far, not even a little bit of saber rattling or anything else, which you have to look at. Now, of course, the best thing for the energy sector would be for them to stir up trouble again in the Gulf. But short of that, I think we're going to be quiet for a few days. We have John in Oakland. How you doing today, John?
Hey, I'm doing great, David. How are you?
Pretty good. We're going to the break, and we'll be right back and hit your call, okay?
Thank you. Great.
Okay. Be back in a minute.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we have John from Oakland, Michigan.
Michigan. Not to be confused with Oakland, California.
Yeah. Yep. So I have here.
Detroit. Hey, my question is this. I don't want to take a lot of your time. You know, everybody's waiting for when we're going to hit a bottom and bounce up and do whatever we do. But when we come out of this thing, if and ever we do, would you rather, if you had to make up a model portfolio, would it be, tech stocks or biotech or home builders or would it just be individual stocks, as opposed to ETFs? What do you think will be the best things to come out first and stay out without, getting crushed and taking months or years to come back?
Well, it's going to be stocks that don't need cash. And, of course, much better than ETFs where you're going to have a bunch of winners and losers. Right? So, it's for every 5 stocks that go higher, you're going to have probably 5 stocks that suffer in a lot of these ETFs. So I'm just thinking, you want to pick your battles, but you'll want to be a stock picker. And it's in stocks that that can turn around in a very short amount of time. If you got huge lead times, like housing, I mean, it takes a year to start a house and then get it closed on and everything. Those kind of the ones are the ones going to be problematic. Ones that, you make industrial equipment that have to have orders. Those orders probably not going to come back for a while. So anything where an iPhone somebody needs a chip for it, 5G, a lot of this is going to be forgotten almost instantly in that kind of market. So, anything in the technology space that can be spun back in huge production in a couple of months. So that biotech, like I said, some of these tech stocks around new technology like 5G, I think those will be the first ones. Memory, all the standard stuff. Thanks for the call. We'll be back here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service,